Hello everyone, I am a man of many manga, and this is Highlight, a series where I take a manga that has done something incredible and tell you what exactly that thing is. Today, we're going to talk about Ajin by Gamon Sakurai, with no restraint on spoilers, so go read Ajin, then come back and watch this video. Do you ever find yourself reading a particularly awesome manga chapter and find yourself holding your breath, or sliding off the edge of your chair, then exhaling in relief once the scene ends? That's what I call suspense. And Ajin has made suspense the backbone of its entire narrative. Suspense is very hard to quantify, in the same way that it's hard to quantify what's funny, but the dictionary describes suspense as anxious excitement from uncertainty of what may happen, or fear of the unknown. But Ajin takes that definition and it kinda stretches it. A lot of time you don't find yourself fearing the unknown, but rather you find yourself fearing what's unknown to you, but known and important to someone else. The only thing more terrifying than something scary is someone else's reaction to something scary, because then you don't even know what it is you should be afraid of. And in Ajin, this systemic theme of fearing the unknown is only amplified by Sakurai's clear and straightforward art style. Minimalism doesn't allow the reader to avert their eyes from the grotesque, as it's hard to ignore the monster in the room if it's all there is to see. But there's something eerie about properly allocated artistic resources. It adds another layer of immersion to the reading experience when the things the characters focus on gain contrast and detail, and things they aren't paying attention to just go by in the background, regardless of how important they may be to the story. When everything is beautiful and detailed, the universe has this feeling of openness and scale to it. But when a page of the same size contains only a single horrifying object of focus, the reader feels trapped, smothered, and uncomfortable. Even more impressive than this use of minimalism is the use of what I can only describe with the cinematographic terminology of different viewing angles. Like here, where the telescopic lens reinforces the distance between Nagai and the moral understanding of the wrongness of murder, with literal distance between us and him. And here, in chapter 13, where the difference between a creepy point of view and a suspenseful point of view is the difference between a wide-angle lens and a telephoto lens. So, what does all this mean? Where's the proof that all these devices for creating suspense actually culminate into a stressful and nail-biting reading experience? For this, I would like to direct your attention to the moment in the Ajin manga that was, very understandably, completely rewritten for the anime. The event in question occurs because Sato, the main antagonist, is tasked with the challenge of destroying a heavily fortified office building in the middle of Tokyo on a business day. In order to achieve this, he decides to hijack a commercial airliner by smuggling in a circular saw to cut through the bolt on the cockpit door and a nail gun to kill the pilots and then relock it. And, horrifyingly enough, we see this whole sequence transpire. We start in the airport with a clearly imposing stance by Sato in center frame, as the obvious danger in the situation gets heightened with each passing panel as he goes through each security step. The danger we know is there continues to go undetected by both us and by security, until the fishy business in question is seen by a little girl, the invisible black ghost carrying the bag of provisions on the ceiling. A few pages later, we're on the airplane, and we get wide fields of view, busy pages full of detailed character behavior, and a shockingly open and unintimidating setting, despite the fact that they're in such an enclosed space. To kick off the frenzy, we get match cuts on clocks, because the time limit on the threat Sato made, 3 p.m. precisely, gets closer with each passing page. And this literal ticking time bomb continues to slowly ramp up the tension until Sato gets out of his seat, and it's here that the lens changes. Wide shots turn into claustrophobic tunnels of anxiety. It even jumps into a first-person shot for the horrifying moment after he breaks into the cockpit, and the huge amounts of detail in the dash highlight the extreme sensitivity of the system that Sato's about to disrupt. And then we jump out of the panic and into the quiet, unsuspecting ground zero, then back into the panic again, each jump getting louder and louder and more abrupt until, at the tick of a second hand, the quiet and the loud collide. Incredible. By masterfully controlling artistic details, strategically selecting viewing angles, and using the unknown as both a source of anxiety and relief, Ajin torments its readers with unblinking eyes for every single chapter, and the only respite it offers is the sigh of relief when it's all over. Thanks for watching this episode of Highlight. If you know of a manga that has done something incredible, let me know what it is in the comments down below. See you next time.